Donald Trump is spending the day attacking the FBI director who he appointed, Christopher Wray, because Christopher Wray testified earlier in the week that at the Butler, Pennsylvania incident, it's not clear if Donald Trump was struck by a bullet or if he was struck by some sort of glass or shrapnel or some other fragments, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense that an AR-15 bullet that would hit an ear would require no stitches and just leave kind of a very minor superficial injury. Now, first I'll show you what the FBI director testified to yesterday. Then let me show you Donald Trump's post attacking FBI Director Christopher Wray. And then I want to show you what Donald Trump is doing here, sending surrogates out rather than just releasing his own medical reports from the treating physicians, which would answer a very basic question. So just to remind you, this is what Christopher Wray testified to earlier this week. Let me show you this. Play the clip.
I think with respect to former President Trump, there's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that that hit his ear. So it's conceivable. Although, as I sit here right now, I don't know whether that bullet, in addition to causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else. But I believe we've accounted for all of the shots in the cartridges. So let us.
Here's the post that Donald Trump made yesterday attacking Christopher Wray. Trump goes, FBI Director Christopher Wray told Congress yesterday that he wasn't sure if I was hit by shrapnel, glass, or a bullet. The FBI never even checked, ! But he was sure that crooked Joe Biden was physically and cognitively uneventful. Wrong. That's why he knows nothing about the terrorists and other criminals pouring into our country at record levels. His only focus is destroying J6th patriots. That's what Donald Trump says in this post. Raiding Mar-a-Lago and saving radical left lunatics like the ones now in D.C. burning American flags and spray painting over our great national monuments with zero retribution. No, it was unfortunately a bullet that hit my ear and hit it hard. There was no glass, there was no shrapnel. The hospital called it a bullet wound to the ear, and that is what it was. No wonder the once storied FBI has lost the confidence of America. Just one interesting fact right here. More people right now by far are Google searching J.D. Vance couch than Donald Trump assassination. Donald Trump, if you want to just set the record straight, release the medical report from Butler Memorial Hospital from your treating physicians. I want to also be clear about this fact right here, which is that Christopher Wray, the FBI director, is a Republican. You, Donald Trump, appointed him. And here's what you said on June 7th, 2017, when you appointed this guy. You said, I will be nominating Christopher A. Wray, a man of impeccable credentials, to be the new director of the FBI. Details to follow. And here's the thing about what you're doing. I mean, you released this report by an unlicensed physician, Ronnie Jackson, someone who has been disciplined before for his inappropriate behavior, which Dr. Ronnie Jackson denies, but there's a reason people call him the Candyman. He's engaged, it was alleged, in personal inappropriate behavior to his subordinates and people who he worked with when he was a licensed physician. And also, the Department of Defense issued the following report on January 8, 2024, evaluation of DoD internal controls related to patient eligibility and pharmaceutical management within the National Capital Region Executive Medicine Services, where, as Dr. Nick Mark says, damn, under the Trump White House, the medical unit was a pill mill. Thousands of Ambien and Provigil per month. Worse, for a clinic that doesn't typically do procedures with moderate sedation, they sure are ordering a prodigious amount of morphine, fentanyl patches, Versed, and ketamine, and they were handing that out in the White House like candy when Dr. Ronnie Jackson was in charge. So as Donald Trump was posting and ranting and raving and attacking the FBI director yesterday, then Ronnie Jackson spoke to the press, and he's like, if it wasn't a bullet wound, I ask you, what was it? What was it? Here, play this clip.
If it wasn't a bullet wound, I ask you, what was it, right? Piece of glass? Where'd the glass come from? I've been told the teleprompters are completely intact. So what, just mysteriously a piece of glass just appeared out of nowhere?
Look, just release the medical report, and then you can put this issue to rest. A lot of people are saying, look, if it's an AR-15 bullet, it's not just like a little prick. That's not like a little bee sting. And also, people are very concerned about Donald Trump's behavior profiting off of this. I mean, if you go on his social media platform, in between his posts attacking the FBI director, there are ads like this, bulletproof Trump whiskey glasses. And he's making money off that because those are ads on his page. But he's directly making money because he created a sneaker called the Assassination Edition High Tops. Fight, fight, fight. Trump is selling 5,000 Assassination Edition high top sneakers, and he's making money off of this incident. That is very alarming and concerning and grifty that's what he's doing right here. Trump also says the following: the Biden-Harris administration did not properly protect me, and I was forced to take a bullet for democracy. It was my great honor to do so. So, I mean, Trump, you're using this to try to get attention to you, to try to draw attention to your failing campaign, or that more people are searching J.D. Vance's couch than your assassination. Think about it. More people are wondering if your vice presidential candidate had sex with a couch than people are searching your assassination, because people just think you're a liar and a whiner about everything. And look, bottom line is, it's a serious issue what took place. Why exaggerate it? Why use it the way you're using it? And here's what Donald Trump said at this speech this week. He goes, I was supposed to be nice because of the shooting, but I'm not going to be anymore. Here's what he said. Play the clip.
You know, I was supposed to be nice. They say something happened to me when I got shot. I became nice. And when you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay? They want me to be nice.
Now remember, Donald Trump also has a history of making fake doctor's notes. Like, who has a history of making fake doctor notes? Trump, because he lies about everything. Do you remember his doctor, who since passed away, named Dr. Harold Bornstein, who prepared the medical report for Donald Trump in 2015 that the media just accepted? And in the report, Bornstein says, if elected, Mr. Trump, I can state unequivocally, will be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. Do you remember that? Then do you remember that Donald Trump sent his goons, he sent his bodyguards to raid Dr. Bornstein's medical facility and take the medical records with force? Do you remember that? Here's what Dr. Bornstein said at the time in May of 2018. Play this clip.
I feel raped. That's how I feel. Raped, frightened, and sad. I was completely surprised. The morning or two after the story about his hair ran, she said, so you wanted to be the White House doctor? Forget it. You're out.
And at that time as well, here's what Dr. Bornstein told CNN, that he didn't even write the medical report. Trump dictated what he should say in the medical report. Play this clip.
We ran into Dr. Harold Bornstein right here, right outside his office on Park Avenue, and he told us in no uncertain terms, and this is the quote, Aaron, he being Trump, he dictated that whole letter. I didn't write that letter, meaning that Trump dictated what he wanted to go into it, and essentially Bornstein wrote it up. He did say, he compared it to the movie Fargo, and he said it takes the truth and moves it in a different direction. Think about that. Now, Bornstein tells us that he was in a car with his wife when he was on the phone with then candidate Trump in December of 2015. And she was going through with Trump what he could say and what he couldn't say. Trump was dictating what he wanted in that letter. And Bornstein was saying, OK, you can say that. You can't say that. He then came here to the office. He wrote it up. Trump's office later picked it up. He said around 4 p.m. Aaron, we have reached out to the White House. but we have not gotten a response.
Now, going back to Christopher Wray, you now know, and I think you know before from watching our network, that Christopher Wray is a Republican appointed by Donald Trump. Why does Donald Trump attack Christopher Wray? Why do these MAGA Republicans go after Christopher Wray? Because the FBI investigates domestic terrorism, and MAGA supports domestic terrorism. You saw Donald Trump's post. He called the January 6th insurrectionists patriots. Again, the corporate media isn't covering that. We're talking about that here on the MeidasTouch network. But let me just show you what goes down at these hearings, some of these other hearings with Christopher Wray. Like, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene, her interaction with the FBI Director Christopher Wray. Play the clip.
Were you aware of this?
Congresswoman, as I said, I haven't seen the photos that you're holding up before.
Maybe, well, I posted them on my Twitter account. It's public. You know, maybe
I don't
you guys
spend a lot of time on Twitter.
Well, you know, oh, I'm sure you do, because the Department of Homeland Security, organized with other offices, has censored many Americans, including myself.
I'm not part of the Department of Homeland Security.
Right, Mr. Wray, you should be interested in investigating terrorism. And this.
Here's the interaction of MAGA Republican Harriet Hageman with Christopher Wray, attacking Christopher Wray and saying that Christopher Wray is like a deep state operative or something. Christopher Wray's like, I'm a lifelong Republican. Like, what are you talking about? Play the clip.
Mr. Wray, from the Twitter files, Missouri versus Biden disclosures, the Durham investigation and report, and exposure and collapse of the Russian collusion hoax, the American people fully understand that there is a two-tiered justice system that has been weaponized to persecute people based on their political beliefs, and that you have personally worked to weaponize the FBI against conservatives. I asked Mr. Durham about this, to which he answered, I don't think that things can go too much further with the view that law enforcement, particularly the FBI or Department of Justice, runs a two-tiered system of justice. The nation can't stand under those circumstances. Director Wray, what are you prepared to do to reform federal law enforcement in a manner which earns back the trust of the American people?
Well, first off, I would disagree with your characterization of the FBI and certainly your description of my own approach. The idea that I'm biased against conservatives seems somewhat insane to me, given my own personal background. As to how we are approaching our work of protecting the American people and upholding the Constitution, it starts with me having emphasized to all of our folks over and over and over again in everything we do that we need to do the right thing in the right way, and that means following the facts wherever they lead, no matter who likes it.
Here's MAGA Republican Clay Higgins threatening Christopher Wray and saying, your day is coming, Mr. Wray. Play this clip.
If you are asking whether the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources and or agents, the answer is emphatically
You're saying
no. No.
You're saying no?
Not
Okay.
violence orchestrated by FBI sources or agents.
Are you familiar with you know what a ghost vehicle is? Director of the FBI certainly should. You know what a ghost bus is?
A ghost bus?
Ghost bus.
I'm not sure I've used that term before.
Okay. These buses are nefarious in nature and were filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters and deployed onto our Capitol on January 6th. Your day is coming, Mr. Wray.
And here's Donald Trump's lawyer. This is an individual who runs Trump's, quote, election integrity division at the RNC, Christina Bobb. And here she is. Remember back when there was a search warrant executed at Mar-a-Lago originally? Remember what they were saying? They blamed law enforcement. They said the FBI did it. They said the FBI planted the documents at Mar-a-Lago, and we know that Trump stole them now. But the first instinct is to blame the FBI. Here, play the clip.
I don't think that there was actually anything there that's worthwhile. We'll see what they come up with. You know, if they did, it'll be interesting, especially since they precluded me from actually watching what they did. But at this point, I don't necessarily think that they would even go to the extent of trying to plant information. I think they just make stuff up and, you know, come up with whatever they want. And that's the way that they will have to proceed in order to actually try to indict the president, because they don't have anything. There's just nothing there.
And again, that's why I don't really care. This isn't a political thing. This behavior by MAGA is very dangerous, and I think it's unhinged. And so I want to know what you think about that. Let me know. Hit subscribe. But that's how Donald Trump's spending his day, as he's canceling debates, as Vice President Kamala Harris is soaring. This is what Trump's doing. It's pathetic behavior. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.